So my name is Nicky Assmann. I'm a Dutch artist working with color, light and motion. I make spatial installations and I have a background in film and art science. So in the themes I'm always working with are inspired by nature, optical phenomena. I play with perception, the sensorial body, and I make these immersive spatial installations through which the audience can walk. The relationship with my work towards nature is that I'm always interested in how things work. So a lot of times also the physics of nature. Usually it's one aspect that triggers me, forwards me to investigate how it works and then completely make an installation around this particular thing. But I'm also very interested in these natural phenomena. So like with Aurora, I was inspired with the northern lights, the polar lights. So it's for me always this quest of bringing forward these really intense colors that we both see in nature but also in the digital spectrum. So another important aspect of my work, what connects them, is that I always play with what we call expanded cinema, is playing with the different elements of the cinematic apparatus. So basically I always make my own screens, whether they are like in Radiant, made from acrylic plates, or in Aurora, made from copper sheets, or with the soap film being an actual soap film. So also in the Abyss I made my own projector, own light source, and these elements of the light source, the projection, the audience going through it, playing with this and experimenting with this in different setups, that's an important part of the work. So in the work Radiant, it's really a playful way of a spatial installation that plays with the concept of moiré. Moiré is basically two sets of line interfering with each other, which we perceive as a moiré pattern. And so it's an installation that is very much about the setup of the space, the relation of the work towards the space, but also the audience. So it's a playful way with the colors, the light, the projections, the colored projections onto the wall, and the audience that is going through the installation. So my work Solaris is actually part of a triptych. The first work, they're all works dealing with soap film. So not a soap bubble, but a two-dimensional soap film. And it's the first work is a larger version of this work with 2 screens, and this is a smaller version, but then with multiple screens. And so the Solaris is really about, it's a reference to film, to cinema. Because when you erect the soap film, you will see in front of you this playful abstract cinema going on until the fragile soap film bursts. So the way the space is set up and the lighting, it's bringing forward these intense colors, the iridescent aspect of the soap film. What I also like to call these hypercolors and these turbulent patterns, and they slowly unfold in front of the viewer until slowly the soap film will burst. So I think all the works in this exhibition are about perception, about these 3 elements of light, color and motion. But The Abysses of the Scorching Sun was the result of a couple of years of research, doing arts in residencies, attending the project Dark Ecology, visiting very dry regions, but also very Nordic regions, and witnessing the effect of climate change. And this research allowed me to start to think differently about the work I was making and how to deal with these feelings about this climate change and this anxiety that comes along with it for the future. And so for me, The Abysses of the Scorched Sun is about taking distance, looking at a different scale, which is reoccurring in other works as well. So here I was looking at the cosmos and how the sun is always turning and how the earth is always turning, even long after we're gone. And so all these feelings I try to put into this installation, and I think in a sort of, the projection is for me this sort of eye of the storm, which is always the calmest point of the storm. So for me, this represents this feeling of everything still feels fine, but we are going towards something, towards the real storm. Another theme is visual music. So I always make a kinetic composition in time and space and movement. In different forms. So for each work, for instance, for Radiant, it's a composition in time that is for a 24-hour sequence for day and night. But for the Abyss, it's an actual sun tracer that will follow the sun throughout the day. The composition lies more in what I do with the colors and projections and the color wheels. And for Aurora, it's playing with the fire and the chemicals and making an actual sheet filled with composition.